Okay, next
I
question.
was just gonna say that you could ult or use Urgot's ult and Galio's ult combination and try and still rate both of them. But anyways, go on.
Alright, next question is, why is there such a stigma attached to trying new item builds? It seems like if you deviate even slightly from the cookie cutter, lol top yellow, pro skilled, get on my level build, you are trolled for the rest of the game. Frankly, I think that most of the builds that are heralded as great builds are because they are great builds. You know, they capitalize on a character's strength. But that said, I mean, there are completely viable alternatives. Like, you see people bash Wits End all the time, but there are situations where Wits End comes in handy. Like, if you're Card Master and their whole team is mana and they've got a bunch of, low mana characters, Wits End is a good thing to have because if you can, make it so Alistar's out of mana before he gets his stun off, you can win a team fight. But as far as, you know, something like a hybrid Teemo, you're going to get trolled for being Teemo. But most of the time, hybrid builds don't work out too well. You should pick one or the other and capitalize on a strength. Go ahead.
You go first, James.
Alright. Deviating from the normal builds, I'm one of those guys that usually does get angry about it because, I mean, I can understand trying new things, but with how many games are played daily, how many times a hero is played daily, you would think over time that a best build emerges, and they do. That's why, as you said, you build a character around what he needs. Whatever your character lacks the most, you want to give it to him so he has it. So you're a toolbox, the hero. You're not some one-hit wonder unless you're Vygar, but Vygar's a different story.
One thing I want
I
to say about that,
personally,
James, not to cut you off. Nidalee was out for 2 months, and, for the first 2 months she was out, everyone just said, oh, she's garbage, she doesn't bring anything to the team fight, blah, 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 whatever. Then, about 2 months after she came out, Hotshot started playing, and as much as I don't like Hotshot and as much as we have our problems, he is the reason Nidalee is considered a good character. Like, before he played her, everyone said she was garbage, and she wasn't, she wasn't even a respectable pick. She was Q-dodge material. So there's always room for ingenuity, no matter how long a character's out. But you have to really look at, what you're bringing to the table. So, continue.
I don't even know what I was saying. I'm lost.
I mean, it's, there's always going to be items that bring out the best of characters. Like, if you have anything other than a frozen mallet on Olaf, which is my opinion, but if you have anything other than that, or for instance, if you have anything other than a Madreds on Warwick, then... Get away. If you have anything other than, those core items that, that is, I wouldn't say the character's built around, but what, bring out the best in them,
Defining
you
items
might
on
be.
the character.
Exactly. But there's always situations. Every game is its own game, and every game has situations where Wits End is needed. Every game has a situation where a Force of Nature is going to be a lot more effective than a Sunfire Cape, and you just have to play around. I think every player gets to a certain point to where they know their core items, and they know what core items are going to help the most in certain situations, and they know what alternative items they're going to pick up, which are going to help with team fights, ganking, and so forth. That being said, anyone that's listening to this, and if you pick Wits End on Ashe and you're on my team, I swear to God, I'm going to hunt you down and fucking kill you, and you can take that as a threat. You can take it to court. Next question, yeah.
Next question.
Next question.
What do you think of Riot points? Are they worth the money? Straight up, yes. I think they're amazing.
Well,
why did you ask that question, Faro?
We have two sides to this. So we have me, which will not spend money on Riot points, and we have Travis, which dumps his paychecks in the skins daily.
I'm the same way as Travis. I've got a skin for every character. I have 4 team skins that I've never played team. Straight up.
Wow, I'm not that bad, but I just want to let it be known that when League of Legends makes it into the Olympics, I want to look good when I'm on Team America. That's all I want, alright?
All I'm saying on this, period, skins do not make you good, children. End of discussion.
I like to buy Riot points because I think that the game concept itself, bringing the free-to-play market to America, is a really good idea. And, you know, back in beta, the devs were a lot more interactive with the community, and they always told us, you know, what they were thinking. And there were a lot of questions like, why are you using a free-to-play setup? And Zelius's response was always, well, we feel like games are a service to the community. So if you like it, you know, you can spend money on it and let us know that we're doing it right, and we'll keep doing it right. And if you don't like it, you could choose not to spend your money on it. And, you know, this way, by using a free-to-play service and by basically accepting donations, if you will, we're forced to keep being a good company or lose our source of income. You know, it's not like a game where you just, it's not like, say, Dragon Age, where you spend $50 and then install it, and then, you know, whether they take the servers down or whether they stop supporting it, you know, they still made their paycheck. That's my stance on it.
Well, if you are a jobless, poor kid from the ghetto like I am, you do not spend money on this game.
Yeah,
if you have money to spend, and you like the game, you should do it by supporting the company. Now, don't go off and buy every skin like these two homos. Alright, that's just absurd.
Alright.
Okay,
I work hard for my skins. No, I want it to be known that I send $20 and a letter to Riot every week about taking Whitson out of the game as well as Ash. And I'm a strong supporter of Riot. And I just want to let that to be known.
Guess what? They haven't done it yet. They haven't done it yet.
I'm just biding my time. I'm biding my whatever. They already take enough of it.
Next question looks pretty big, so I guess we're going to tackle this in parts. What do you think is the most important features Riot needs to implement? Is it going to be a replay function, game modes for normal play, lag reduction, and what do you think about the difference between Han and Dota? Do we actually need runes? Is denying important? So, I think, personally, that replays and observers are the most important things that this game needs. Like, if they cut champion production for, you know, the next 2 months and they came out with replays and observers, I don't think anyone would complain. That being said, different people work on different things, blah, blah, blah. As far as what I think about the differences between Han and Dota, I mean, I really like the way League of Legends works. It's a lot more interactive. You know, there are a lot more counterintuitive things. You know, if you feel like it's a good idea to push, it usually is. You know, you're not going to be yelled at all the time for doing something wrong. But, I mean, I think it's just a lot more user-friendly. And that is kind of a big selling point for the game when I'm trying to introduce someone to the genre. Because if you're trying to teach someone how to play, Dota is probably the hardest way to ever get anyone into a game ever. You know, it's basically like trying to teach someone physics and just dropping them into an electromagnetism class and expecting them to know Gauss's laws. It's dumb. But, alright, as far as runes, I like runes. I think they introduce a lot of functionality to a lot of characters. Some characters need runes to jungle. And, you know, having those options are really nice. But if they wanted to make a runeless mode for tournaments or whatever, I mean, I could see that working as well. As far as denying, I mean, denying is still in this game. And I like the way this denying works more than I like Dota's denying, because it's more interactive. I mean, there's more player versus player. It's a lot more action-oriented, and it's a lot funner to watch. If you don't think it's a lot funner to watch, you should check out my live stream, because Garen Tark is dumb. And now you guys say whatever you want. I've been talking too much.
You do talk too much. Denying, I mean, James is probably gonna know more. I never really played Dota. The most I played in Dota was I played Anti-Mage for like a week straight, and I thought I was a boss, and then James hopped on and played some spider bitch, and I just quit after that. Like, it's like you said, Dota's a very hard game. Like, you can't just, you know, tell your girlfriend to pick up the controller and play some Halo with you and giggle about it and then take her out to dinner or something. It doesn't work like that. You're gonna get in a fight and she's gonna divorce you because she realizes how hard of a game it is and that girls aren't good at games. Anyways, but pretty much it's really, I don't know. It's the denying factor is so much when I played Dota that the range carries just, you know, rule the field. Like, it becomes their game. Like, any type of range, you know, when you're talking about denying as in a full, I mean, you add a completely different play to the field. You know, you're getting yourself in horrible situations just to deny experience, and a range carry over a physical carry, or a range or physical, you know, anything. I mean, there's such a gap between that. I think that denying should be left out. That's just me, though. I never really played Dota to an extreme to know how beneficial or how much more challenging it could be.
James?
I think they need denying. I know why they don't do it. They've already said the reason they didn't implement deny was because it makes the game last longer. It does. I completely agree. You want games to be shorter. You want them, because people don't have the time to sit down for an hour to an hour and a half and play a game of LOL. Like, that makes sense. But denying in Dota, I played Dota for about 2 or 2.5 years, and it was probably last hitting, denying, and harassing a hero, paying attention to the map. It made you pay attention. It made your APM go up. It required more skill. I don't think harassing a hero in last hitting is that hard because I played Dota, because you had to do 3 things instead of 2. I mean, I think if they implement denying, it would make laning so hard, because Dota didn't have it had jungles, but that was like later in Dota. That was like Beastmaster jungles, but they weren't in like Chin jungles, but they weren't like jungles in this game. They're much different, and you would have to pay so much attention in this game at a high level to not get ganked by a jungle. Some people will say, oh, it's easy to not get ganked by a jungle. You just sit back. No, if you're playing against someone who's good at laning, they're going to bait you into a jungle gank. It's just, that's how it is. And I think if they allowed denying, that would create so much diversity to laning. It would be whoever, you could set up certain ways to deny. You could deny your creep so it pushes you back so you could time a jungle gank, or you could do it the other way. Like, you could let them deny all they want, so your tower push, or you push so you can go to town and buy without having your tower pushed. I think denying is needed in this game. A lot of people disagree, but that's because I'm just a hardcore Dota fan. I don't know. As for any of the other things you asked, I don't even remember.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. You need to repeat
most
that.
important feature that they should implement.
Replay.
And what do you think of runes?
Replays and observers are absolutely needed. Replays probably over observers, in my opinion, because you don't need observer mode until you have a replay, personally, because everyone can view a replay, because it's recorded. You can go download it and watch it anytime.
Welcome to YouTube.
Observer's different. Yeah, but not everyone's going to run frat.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Next one is, do you need runes?